Hello everybody! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Mustard Saves, and today's video is going to be a little different than usual. There is no set budget because I've just spent the last few weeks completely spoiling my new fiance. In the last video I mentioned that I have some big news coming up, and here it is. After almost 5 years together, I have the greatest honor of officially moving forward in life with one of the most amazing people that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. And I just wanted to sit here and brag about how great this man really is. His dad actually watches these videos and he says he loves seeing all the food that I make for him and knowing that his son is eating really well. So this video is also a little tribute to his family to show that I am indeed taking care of their son the best that I can. Anyway, starting with how we met. During my first year in college, my mom was covering 100% of all of my financial needs, and I just didn't feel totally comfortable with that. So against her wishes, I applied to work at my local Subway. Like, I could literally walk to the Subway. And I actually got a call the next morning for an interview, and like within 48 hours of submitting my application, I was standing behind the counter working my first shift. And the day went by as well as you'd expect for a first day to go. And right when it was time for me to leave, he showed up to take over. He was going to work the night shift. And my manager asked if I wanted to stay longer. And I noticed that he was going to be working by himself. And the idea of leaving someone to run a whole store to themselves was just kind of crazy to me because my previous jobs were so team-based. So I agreed to stay a few extra hours, and we basically spent the next 4 hours just laughing and talking about books and movies, and it was just really nice to get to talk to someone like that since I was so far away from home. And by the time I left the store, I had a new phone number in my pocket, and if I hadn't chosen to stay late that day, it would have been several weeks before we even saw each other again, because we worked totally opposite shifts that never had any overlap in time. And every so often, I think of how different my life would be today if I hadn't made every decision in the order that I did that day. Fast forward to like 3 days later, and we had our first date at the movie theater to see Escape Room. To this day, we still watch the movie every anniversary, and we even went out to watch the second one as soon as it came out. Since then, we've gone through a lot together, and through it all, he has always kept a smile on his face. His kindness, patience, and unconditional support have literally carried us through some of our hardest times in life. And I get to spend every day being treated like a spoiled princess who gets whatever she wants. And he has just done so much for me that I will never be able to repay him for in the way that he gave me the support. And I'm sure someone out there is thinking, yeah, this sounds great, but what does he get out of this? And y'all, I have social anxiety, and I have asked him that exact question several times throughout our relationship, and his honest to God answer every time is always, I do it all because I love you and I get to do these things with you. Like, how freaking adorable is that? How often do you get lucky enough to find someone who just says things like that to you? He has literally packed up his life and moved with me on 3 separate occasions with no questions asked, because all he cared about was that we were going to be spending our lives together. Like, I can't. This guy is too much, and I love him so much. His love language definitely skews toward quality time, and I heavily lean on acts of service, and he has 100% encouraged my love for cooking. Not only because he loves to eat, but I love watching his face light up when I make something new or when I finally get good at something I've been practicing. Like, the number one thing I mention to all of my friends who say that, like, wow, you're such a good cook, I'm like, only because my partner has eaten so much, like, bad crunchy rice, because let me tell you guys, Mexican rice is hard to get right. And he was such a trooper and ate so much, like, not good quality rice because, like, we didn't want to throw away food. After we got back from our vacation, I just didn't know how to act right, and I was just making all kinds of things. I don't want to talk about how much all this cost because I really am still too chicken to add up all the receipts, but let's just say I went to the grocery store like once a day just to pick up a few things here and there, and I maybe went to Sprouts like 4 times in 2 weeks and stocked up on all kinds of like organic spices and oils. I still only purchased sale or clearance items, of course, but I still feel going 4 times was a bit excessive. And none of the money I spent these past few weeks is money I regret spending, but now that I've got a wedding and a future to plan for, I do have some financial goals to attend to, and getting our grocery budget under control will be one of the top priorities. I actually ended up with a lot more footage than I expected to for this tribute video, so there's going to be maybe 1 or 2 videos before I get back on track with my budget-themed content, but I promise they're coming. Thank you guys for listening to my little rant about my fiance. I know it wasn't very specific, but I really just wanted to keep this video short so that way I could update you guys. I do think it's important for you guys to remember that even if you're going through a hard time, it is not a waste of money to spend a little extra on yourself and to show your appreciation and to say thank you for all of the people in your life who help you get to where you are. And again, I'm just so grateful to have the partner that I do have, and I'm so excited to move forward in life and live the rest of my life with him. So anyway, I'm gonna cut it here and stop ranting, but I hope you guys are having a good day or night whenever you're watching this, and I hope you stick around to see any of my future content. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!